Got to a point where you're 3 or 4 days on it, picking tab ends up, twitching through curtains, paranoid to death.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I did. Nothing. When I had that first key, that were it. It was my life, that then. Until my body physically can't move, or until I lay down and I fall asleep, there's no stopping me, mate. Reality is, my head were a mess before drugs. It ain't the drugs that's my issue, because I could take it and put it down at some point.
It was just an escape, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an escape. That stuff out, and you'll start to realise very quickly that you were the problem.
Yeah. Tell me a bit about your upbringing, your background, where you're from.
From Ponty, originally, born in Ponty.
Yeah.
Ponty Carlo. My upbringing was good, to be honest, mate. Very good upbringing, yeah. Catholic family, mum's Italian, strict woman like, you know what I mean, hand gestures, stuff like that, bit of this, bit of that. But other than that, mate, I got everything I wanted.
Yeah.
Other than when my mum and dad split up, everything was fine, mate, to be honest.
Do you get into any trouble?
Not really. I've been in isolation and stuff like that a few times at school.
Yeah.
You know, odd nick and knack and stuff, you know what I mean, as it is, but not really major.
Nothing out of the ordinary?
No, not really. I think it was more trying to fit in.
Yeah.
Acting up, do you know what I mean?
So when did you start taking drugs?
I started smoking bud about 17, 18 year old.
Yeah.
That was more as like a getaway from what was going on in the house at the time. Especially when my mum and dad split up, and like a lot of arguing, you know what I mean, a lot of back and forths, and I had to get away. And smoking bud at the time was like chilled me out, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting out, getting in car, fucking off for a bit, smoking a fair few bongs and not getting a takeaway. No abnormal, do you know what I mean? Just seen it as normal at the time, but yeah.
That was what you did at the time.
Yeah.
What about drinking?
Not really. I didn't really drink, mate. I don't really like alcohol. It's not my thing. I might have a pint or something like that. Obviously, when I turned 18, I went out for a beer run, but I knew it wasn't for me. I didn't like especially like knowing I've got ADHD, not being in control. I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on a wobble walking home looking at me sort of like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. People think when you're an addict, it's every drug. You're obsessed with everything.
Yeah.
Was that the case for you?
No, not a chance. No, mine was purely cocaine.
Yeah, that was my next question. What was your drug of choice then?
Definitely cocaine, mate,
Yeah.
I've tried GB, MDMA, pills, anything, but then, same with bud, could put it down. It wasn't my thing, do you know what I mean? I liked it, but if you have MDMA or GB or something like that, you've got that come down for 5 to 6 days. Or cocaine, I didn't experience come down, I never knew what that was. It worked for me, that drug, hand in hand. Obviously, from my ADHD, it was like it chilled me out, stimulates chilled me out, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm on medication for it now, it just steadies me, do you know what I mean?
So how old were you when you started taking cocaine?
Cocaine, probably about 18, 19.
Yeah.
And that just come through, obviously I was bullied at school, I was only 5'1", so I was terrorised through school.
Yeah.
When I came out of school, I went to Man City Academy and started playing a bit of football, played for 3 teams, freshened myself up, had 50 spurs in the year at the time, as I thought. Popularity hit me hard.
Yeah.
And then it was finding the big boys and hanging about with them. And because them lads knew I was a popular kid at that time, I hung about with the older lot.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll never forget the day I first had that key. I were all anti-drug me. Like, I smoked a bit of bud, but from family I were in,
Yeah.
Mum wouldn't have it. But I remember having that first key like nothing. And when I had that first key, that were it. It was my life, that then.
Yeah. When did you start seeing that was starting to become a problem? When did you start realising that you maybe were an addict?
Probably summer 2019, 2020, when I was doing it pretty much every day through summer, me and my mates. It was like the normality, be a garden, finish work, get on sniff. But it wasn't like a major amount of cocaine then.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2 bags or something like that. But to do it every day, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's a problem. Do you know what I mean? But I didn't see it at the time. It was nice, it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
Get out, you know what I mean? Beer gardens, having a laugh, going to raves. That's what it was about.
What did your normal life look then at the height of your addiction?
My height of my addiction.
If a day in your life, what would it look like?
Horrible, mate. It'd be a stressed out man on a night, probably weeks before, planning it. You know, I'd have like 3 or 4 weeks off it. I didn't have to have it every day.
Yeah.
But that 3 or 4 week off it were a smooth week, just knowing that one day I'm going to get on it.
Yeah.
So I remember finishing work and stuff like that, and I'd be stressed, absolutely stressed out of my head that coke has got to be there at that time.
Yeah.
I'd rang 5 dealers, mate, making sure it's there. So you've already got that initial stress of getting it before I were on it. Then when I get on it, it's like full guns blazing, mate. There's no stopping, mate. Didn't care whether it was my kid there, my missus, my ex-partner at the time, anyone, mate. I was on it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was my life. I didn't care about anything at all. Well, the height of it really was, where it ended up, sat in a caravan, no mates, family have given me to God because they thought I was going to die. My partner, well, she hadn't left then, but it was going that way. Never really saw my son, didn't really care, to be honest, mate. Just sniffing Tim's flat out, and then obviously started drinking like Glen's vodkas and stuff like that, because obviously at the time it was like I sniffed cocaine dry, but it worked for me sniffing it dry. Now when I brought alcohol into that game, it became like a normality to do that, and it sent me very violent. So it got to a point where I'm smashing shit up, in cars, no insurance, no MOT, no tax, driving about, sourcing drugs, money, taxing dealers up, anything, mate, you'll name it, I've done it, do you know what I mean? It got to a point where you're 3 or 4 days on it, picking tab ends up, twitching through curtains, paranoid to death.
Yeah.
But I loved it, I did.
It's interesting to see how that progresses, because you just said earlier you'd stay away from alcohol, you didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then now you're taking it with cocaine, and then there's something else and there's something else, so you're trying to search for that next,
Yeah.
or that better high, aren't you?
100%, it was more, I think at the time it was more like the anxiety of the reality of the next day, with family and stuff like that. So for me it was like trying to put yourself to sleep.
Yeah.
But as a cocaine addict, I sniffed it dry for that long. I didn't want to go to sleep. So we're like alter egos. For me, if I have anger issues or mental issues or think about stuff, I can click my fingers and become sober.
Yeah.
Don't matter how much I drink, how much I sniff. And that's what were happening. It was like causing drama, ringing people up that shouldn't be ringing, pre-planning. So before I used to take it, like my partner at the time used to say, like, you're going to be alright, you're not going to ring up for money, you're not going to do this, not going to do that. And at that time, before I took that drug, none of that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But everything that I said wasn't going to happen happened tenfold on the day. You know what I mean? Reaching out to people, giving abuse, being violent, you know, reaching out to lasses and stuff like that. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
It was just creating more problems for me, that then when it rose in the night, that were a reset button. So that reset button would press, the fuck it button would come out, and then I'd get another bag, and it never ended, mate.
Cycling around.
Yeah, like buying like pills. I got bad with pills, like I started like drinking a bit, but I liked my pingers on a night. Get a few pills down, yeah, go through all that, maybe a bag of Dizzle or something. You're at highest high you could ever possibly fucking be, do you know what I mean? That's where you're at it. But then after that, you think you're just like, you wear off, you're done. I'm not done.
Yeah.
Because something else will come up, and then I've got to get another bag. And until my body physically can't move, or until I lay down and I fall asleep, there's no stopping me, mate.
So what did rock bottom look like in your addiction? What was the lowest point, would you say?
I've had a few lowest points, mate. Probably one of the lowest points is when at the time I lost my licence. That was a low point for me, because I loved driving. I loved driving off my head. I remember getting arrested. The next day I came out, I did it again, because your ban won't till 6 or 7 months after before I had to go to court. Tried killing my son twice, more of a plea for help, really, twice, you know what I mean. Went to rehab, more forced to do it, didn't really want to do it.
Yeah.
But the real low point was getting in that caravan, moving away, my family giving me to God, tried successfully hanging myself, didn't work, but I'm lucky to be here. Finding Jesus through them, like on sessions, it was getting to a point where I used to like my bassline music. I start listening to Jesus music and I think, like, what is going on? It like a cry, do you know what I mean? Something was happening within me, definitely. Tried killing my son. I'd gone on bail for an assault charge. Social services were involved. I was on my own, mate, that was it. It was scary, do you know what I mean? There was no way out of it. Only way that I knew then was taking more drugs. But what actually happened is I rang police on myself to take me before I did kill my son. Or I remember him coming and I had coke with me and I said, you can't take that off me, mate, 'cause if you do, like, get fucking ready.
Yeah.
And that was lowest, you know what I mean? I've had paramedics around me saying your heart rate's at 170 beats per minute, you're about to have an heart attack. I won't have no one tell me what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
I'd get up and I'd have more lines in front of them. It did not faze me. But definitely that low point was tried killing myself and with crisis team in hospital. I've rang police up on myself, which I never ever do, because I don't know anyone in the right mind wants to see police when you're on sniffing.
Yeah, that's how you know you've got a problem.
That's when I know, yeah. I was covered in blood, caravan was smashed to bits, I put my hands through every window and I was scared, mate, because I wasn't scared of anything else, I was scared of myself.
Yeah.
I wasn't in control anymore, mate. My head wasn't me.
Yeah.
I couldn't even look in the mirror, do you know what I mean?
A lot of people say their rock bottom as well is you've done this much damage to your relationships and all that you've got no one to call.
Yeah, 100%.
Nowhere to go. Would you relate to that?
Yeah, because obviously when I tried doing what I was doing, I tried bringing my ex-partner at work, and there was no answer. She didn't want to know what to do with me. I was thinking about my son at the time. She was thinking about my son at the time. That had to end. Her family detest me because they don't understand addiction.
Yeah.
But I also set my point now that I've caused all this. That's a big thing for me to accept. My mum and dad both said to me they're going to give me to God. They planned my funeral. They planned this. I were in a shit show, mate. There was no way out of it. You know, I was digging my own grave. I wasn't like scooping keys. I was scooping my own grave out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And so going from rock bottom to recovery, when did you realise maybe, when did you realise there was a way out? Or
I've always known that, to a extent, I've seen people that have, like Theo Von, seen all these videos. And to be fair, before I used cocaine, there were times where I really didn't want it. And I always knew, like, watching them videos, like, there were a way out of it. Because these were ever users, mate. Like, I were a never user, but they're, like, sniffing pure cocaine and stuff like that. So I didn't feel like I were on their level. And hearing these stories of how they sorted it out, I never thought that obsession would go. But my mum worked in drug services. She said about reflections. Now, I were a bit on edge with it, but the last session I had loads of cocaine, started sniffing amphetamine medication. I mean, I went to Man City the day after, and I were an absolute mess, mate. I was freaking out, I was paranoid, and I got the phone call to say, like, you could come in on a Monday, and I jumped on that faster than not because I didn't want to be like that anymore. It was scary, like going and watching like a Liverpool and Man City game that paid a lot of money to go and watch with my dad, and then not really watching it because I couldn't see. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that really loved in my life. It were all gone, mate. Do you know what I mean? I needed recovery. I never thought it had happened, but obviously it came into this place.
Yeah.
And here I am.
Okay, 2 more questions. Okay.
Yeah.
You're talking about relapse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about that. What happened there?
Well, the truth to be matters, isn't it? We relapsed 50,000 times. You just don't know it, do you? It were times where, like, if I look at my relapses in the past, it's staying off it for 5 weeks, like white knuckling it, trying to go to work, earn all this money. But the reality is, my head were a mess before drugs. It ain't the drugs that's my issue, because I could take it and put it down at some point.
It was just an escape, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was an escape, mate. So the relapses were happening quite often. Like, it depends what happens. If them sessions were shit, I'd get on it because that session was shit. But what would happen is, like, I'd have enough. You know, I'd have a good session. I think, right, 3 or 4 weeks getting back on it. But then you're just fighting your own head. But like, as a proper relapse, in a sense of what we'd expect it to be, when I went to rehab, I relapsed on the 3rd day I came out. But I knew why that was, because I didn't want to stop.
Yeah.
I went in there for all the wrong reasons. I've not hit a rock bottom then, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A rock bottom is your own rock bottom. It's not like anyone else thinks it is. So, relapses, listen, like, when I relapsed after rehab, I came out of that rehab never thinking I'd touch drugs again, but I never found a solution. I'd only done step 3. And the drugs, you press the fuck it button once you had that key. I remember I was crying in the car when I had the key, and I didn't know why. But then after that, I reached out to all the people I did drugs with. They gave me the comforting, that were it.
Yeah.
But I did it twice as hard. Especially like COVID, when COVID hit. I used to use outside. As soon as COVID hit, my use were purely indoors. My cocaine was my own, my cigs were my own, everything. And I loved that. So that was the best part about relapsing, well, you get your own shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Last question, yeah. If you had something to say to people in positions like you were in, using in addiction, what would your message be?
My main message with that is, in my personal experience, I was obsessed with cocaine. Like, every day, didn't think, there was nothing else I thought about, step over anyone, anything. So, like, to know that something can take that obsession away as such, it's very hard when you're in it, do you know what I mean? When you've got your cravings and stuff like that, it's very hard. Get to a meeting. First priority is get yourself to a meeting fast. Because that obsession's there. Now, I've spoken to people already about this through my own recovery videos, and the self-hatred that they have is the same as what I had. You can't control that addiction. You can only try and get to a meeting, feel the love that I did when I came in here, that I've never had. You know what I mean? I was abused by all my mates. When I came in this house, I was scared to death. I had love like I've never felt in my life. No one ever spoke good about me. We're all negative.
Yeah.
You are able to talk about your problems to anyone in this house.
Because they're all in the same position.
Because they're all in the same position, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't reach out to people on the outside, even family and people like that don't understand addiction. I wouldn't even waste your time. You need to get to these meetings or get to a recovery treatment centre, anything. Get that comfort first of the people around you, because that is the biggest thing that changed me to even get to my 12-step programme.
Yeah.
You're speaking about these issues, you're fitting in straight away. Now, most addicts do not fit in. We don't.
Yeah.
You're hanging about with people that can do drugs on the weekend and this, that and other, and you're always wondering why you can't. And then you're getting the abuse for things like that.
Yeah.
Get you sent to a meeting, get you sent in your treatment centre, get you sent a sponsor as fast as you can. They'll take you through the steps. As soon as you admit that you are powerless and unmanageable over your addiction, which is your step one, you're on a step forward. You've brought yourself there to start with, so you know you've got a problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every step then, I mean, I'm Catholic, I believe in Jesus. Now, higher power is your own understanding of God or whatever it may be. But putting it on him, like for me, I put everything on everyone else. Do you know what I mean? All the stress, everything went on everyone else.
Yeah.
I never took accountability for my own actions. So now when I pray to God in the morning, I put everything in my head that's a problem on him straight away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's like step 2. Get your inventory out, which is like step 4. Get all that stuff out, and you'll start to realise very quickly that you were the problem.
Yeah.
And as soon as you can accept that you were the problem for your own addiction, you can throw that away in the past, burn it, and then your life progresses. Because you know every day you're going to get another sober day. And every day for me in here, when obsession was removed, was the best day I've ever had. Because addiction won't laughs and giggles, it never will. You know what I mean? You were going to either end up dead, in jail, or you might end up killing someone. That was reality. But yeah, definitely a sponsor. Speak to people, you know what I mean? Reach out. Never sit with a thought in your head. I've always said me in my head, I take the power out of my head before I get on the power. And it's worked for me beneficially every day.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't hold anything in. If you hold things in, that'll progress, and that can be a pre-lapse, and that can be a very dangerous game, because as I know, when I came out of rehab, I had things in my head and I cracked, and it comes at you like a rash. There's no going back. If that head, it says fuck it, that's it, you're gone. So you want to be getting everything out you possibly can in a day, to a point where I am now, where I'm 80 days sober. Yes, I have a few resentments there and there, but it's nothing I can't speak about, and it's nothing major, because primarily I'm not sat in a caravan with dealers trying to smash me head in and police coming after me and stuff like that. That's not there anymore, that's the past.
Yeah.
This is the present day. I'm sober, my health is good, my physical well-being's good, my recovery's going well. I've done my 12 steps, trying to find outside sponsors, on about doing college courses, football, gym, all these things that I wanted to do, I never had till I did this, till I came in this house. And obviously I'm very grateful to this, because I'm in an area where I used to do drugs.
Yeah.
And I used to sell drugs, and I never thought I could come back here. But as I said to every other addict, you can't run away from drugs or drink. It
They're always
chases
going to
you.
be there, aren't
It always comes to you.
Yeah.
Prime example, I moved to Knaresborough. First day I was there, went to get out of the way of it. I met the biggest coke dealer in Knaresborough on the first day having a haircut. It comes for you.
Yeah.
It's weird for addicts, you'll notice it in weird senses. I pray for bags to Jesus, I get a bag, and it was like, what is going on? Do you know what I mean? It was weird. Now I pray for a good day, pray for other suffering addicts, and pray for my emotions, and I'll speak to people about them constantly. So it gets to a point where there's nothing in my head. Now, if there's nothing in your head to worry about, you're not going to act and use, and that is as simple as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers, mate.